Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
I want to know something about you, Danny.
Okay. Like what?
You and Jake known each other long?
Gosh, that's a good question. I guess it's been about 2 years. Time goes by quick when you travel around as much as we do.
What did you do before becoming Jake's assistant?
Nothing glamorous. I was a stable hand in Quick Point. Life with Gentleman Jake is certainly more, lively.
How did you two meet up, anyway?
Oh, Jake tells the story much better than I do. Ask him.
So, where did you learn to shoot?
I, used to know some folks that were handy with pistols. They gave me a few pointers and I just sort of picked it up.
So, what's our friend on stage been jabbering about?
What hasn't he? This guy makes Jake seem like a silent monk by comparison. Anyway, it's mostly been about Clark, his etheric research in New Bretagne, how he built his lab out here after the Expo disaster. Excuse me, miracle, that sort of thing. He says Clark transcended. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. What's your impression of Chrysalis?
Well, it's peculiar. Everybody's got a job to do, a way to help. Nobody's left out, and that's nice. But all this stuff about etheric beings? It sounds,
Crazy?
You said it, not me. Anyhow, I wouldn't mind hanging around a while.
I'll leave you to the lecture. The butterflies sure seem to like these flowers. The butterfly makes this one less creepy, but not by much. Suppose that's where the animals are kept. If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer. Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returns.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
Now just where do you get off saying I'm casting shadows of discord or whatever?
I caught you trespassing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
You've a peculiar way of showing it.
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Oh, so you're the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Did you ever have a chance to meet Dr. Clark?
No, nor did I desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a plaything.
Where did Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been inspired and driven to his work by the luminous ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
So what you're saying is, you don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. I didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
So how does one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders were forbidden.
Nice try, but not on my watch.
What if I brought you a new artifact for your collection?
Then I would be very surprised. We've already retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
My personal business is none of yours.
Touchy. I'll leave you to your guarding. Try not to die of boredom. I can't be seeing things. Danny and Nadine saw that strange haze too. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. There must be something wrong with the sky. Whatever turning on that generator did, I hope it's not permanent. All right then. Hey, Phil, you in here?
Had enough of those luminous lunatics too, did you?
I don't know. They seem okay. Just a bit odd.
More than a bit, if you ask me. Anyway, now that the power is restored, we can see about getting inside that locked room.
Looks like a toolbox. What's it doing all the way up there? Way too high for me. Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
Can you think of any way to get that box down?
I'm afraid reaching high things has never been my forte.
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, something unnatural, something perverse. What possessed him to undertake this research is beyond me.
A bunch of Clark's things are collected at the commune, but one of the Luminarians is guarding the place.
Naturally. Are you seeking a distraction?
If you have an idea, I'm all ears.
It just so happens I do. I have had a look around, and this machinery is quite unstable. With a few more items, I could finish what we started with the door and send this whole place up in smoke. That would give you time to search, no?
It would, but it seems a touch extreme. What would you need exactly?
Well, mainly fertilizer and flammable liquid for accelerant. I can construct a detonator out of scrap I found, but I will need something to serve as the plunger to set it off.
Well, I'll consider it. Right? Way too...
I will stay.
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
I was wondering if you might help me out with something.
What?
There's a toolbox inside Clark's lab that's out of reach, and I've had no luck getting it down. Think you might put your pistols to the task?
I could do that. Yeah. You want to go right now?
Yes, let's head over now.
Sure thing. Just lead the way.
That's it, up there.
Right.
Nice shot.
Thanks, Harley. Happy to help. So, what's inside that box that's so important anyway?
Guess we all get to find out together.
Ah, so you got the box.
Well, anything good inside?
Not really. Just a wrench and this odd dial thing.
I hope it was worth the trouble then.
That was good practice, at least. I'm heading back to Chrysalis. See you both later.
It won't turn any further that way. It won't turn any further that way. Phil, you might wanna... Move. Are you all right?
I think so. The cage seems to have absorbed all that energy. Just warn me before you try that again.
So, this console operates equipment by setting the dials in a 4-digit sequence,
And it looks like it's connected to the door as well.
which means I need to figure out the correct sequence to get it open.
I will stay in.
No handle. Must be some other way to open it. Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
I can't really see through the porthole.
I will stay in.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
What is it you do around here?
Plenty. I help in the fields and in the kitchen, but my particular gift is keeping Chrysalis beautiful and its people inspired. All the murals and paintings you see around the commune are my work.
And a fine job you've done.
Why, thank you.
I agree. You've really managed to liven up this desert with some color.
Yes, that was my intent. I'm glad it comes across.
I've noticed you all sure are fond of butterflies.
What better creature to symbolize transcendence? Like butterflies, we too will undergo a metamorphosis, pass through the veil into the ether, and join the luminous ones. Not only that, their wings have 8 sections, and they flap in a figure 8 pattern.
Does that mean something?
Evocator Bennett's sacred number, of course.
Sacred number? What does that mean?
The number 8 is very important. It appears constantly in the evocator's writings, and Bennett himself was born on the 8th of August, 1788.
That's quite a coincidence.
Coincidence is mere illusion.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
I did. Once. Such a brilliant mind. We didn't speak long, but I felt as though we'd conversed for hours.
What exactly was Dr. Clark's etheric research about?
Truth.
Lovely sentiment, but could you be a bit more specific?
He sought to connect us with the world above, to unite us with the luminous ones. He succeeded in not only opening the door, but stepping through and crossing the veil. He showed that the way is possible. Now we all must learn to follow.
Do you have an idea of where Dr. Clark might be currently?
Of course. He's with the luminous ones.
Pardon?
The beings on the other side of the veil. The ones who dwell in the ether.
You're saying Clark is dead?
Not dead. Transcended. Eternal. You still have much to learn. It's good you're with us now. Everything will become clear soon. Trust me.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Be well.
Don't wander too...
They seem... Nadine, could we have a word?
Of course.
Any ideas as to how to get that fellow over there away from his post?
Change the subject?
Afraid this situation's a bit more complicated than that. Still good advice, though. I'll leave you to your conversation. Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Leger.
My name is Evan. Evan Holbrook. Welcome to Chrysalis.
Evan was just showing me the cookhouse. You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Well, mostly. Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant. Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
So, are you the biscuit roller for this community, or what?
Not quite. Everyone in Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
Exactly what was Dr. Clark researching?
Ethericity, of course.
Of course, but what about it? Energy sources? Industrial applications? What?
Miss Leger, I couldn't begin to tell you. Whatever reasons he may have given the public, the bankers, the professors, and what have you, his true purpose was to open the way for humanity to pass into the etheric realm. And it wasn't easy. He spent 2 years in that laboratory before transcending. Soon the day will come when we all can follow him.
Do you know where Dr. Clark disappeared to?
Evocator Bennett didn't disappear. He transcended.
Again, you use this word. What do you mean by it?
He passed through the etheric gateway and joined with the luminous ones in the cosmos.
Oh.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
Alas, no. I hadn't really heard of him before the expo. I was looking at the wax anatomical models in the medical marvels exhibit. But my wife said they turned her stomach, so she went to see the etheric pavilion instead. I don't think she really knew who Bennett Clark was either. It was just something to pass the time. If only either of us knew what a significant thing was about to happen.
The disaster that killed all those folk?
Please. That's what the ignorant and unenlightened call it. Emissary Paul helped me to understand. Evocator Bennett showed the world the transcendence phenomenon. It wasn't a disaster. It was a miracle. I only regret that I wasn't there, so I could have gone along with her.
You said your crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to it.
Goodbye.
See you later.
I've got more important... Suppose that... It won't turn any further. Well, I'll be.
Nicely done.
Well, nothing horrible came out, shall we?
After you. Santo cielo.
What in the ether happened in here?
I do not know, but I am not going in any further.
Completely overgrown.
Probably for the best.
These mannequins are disturbingly lifelike. This one's posed like it's reaching for something.
Clark's research involved playing with life-size dolls? Que locura!
This one's missing its head. I wonder how that happened.
I can die happy never finding out.
This might be of interest to our friends in Chrysalis. This is easily one of the strangest things I've ever had in my possession.
I will...
I've got more important concerns right now. Have a look at this.
What? Where did this come from?
Clark's lab. His test room, to be precise.
You were able to get inside?
Sure was. It was full of plants and all kinds of weird equipment. The ethericity seems to have boosted the growth of the seeds somehow. It's like a jungle in there.
I cannot condone your reckless disregard for the sanctity of the laboratory, but I also cannot deny the importance of this discovery. I must alert Emissary Paul immediately.
I'd better be quick. No telling when that chump might come back. What in the hell is this supposed to be? The things some people will keep for posterity, I'll never understand. Let's see. Books on science, engineering, astronomy. I'm sure this is all fascinating, but it's not going to help me any. More scrawled nonsense. Why would they keep this? Nothing but empty vials and flasks. Lots more books, mostly about technical subjects. Nothing that would help me locate Clark's stash, though. Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books, and what's this? Looks like a diary.
I should have known. Get out of here this instant, degenerate! Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
At least I found what I was looking for. I should probably get out of... The final entry is bookmarked with a letter. Definitely worth a read. But first...
February 9th, 1850.
That's only 9 months ago.
Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. Come to El Presidio. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting. Jake will want to see this. Hey, Jake. I've got something to show you.
So, show me.
I'd prefer to speak in private.
Excuse me a moment, won't you, darling? All right, what do you got?
I found Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Ah, nice sleuthing, Harley. Let's round up the others and say our goodbyes. We need to plan our next steps.
Leaving us so soon? But you've only just arrived.
We appreciate the hospitality, but it's time we moved on.
If your journey must continue, then so be it. But we cannot thank you enough for your discovery of Evocata Bennett's etheric cultivator, Miss Leger. Once we relocate and configure the equipment, our crops will surely flourish.
That's great to hear. I hope you'll all be well fed this winter.
Know that you will always find welcome in Chrysalis. Farewell, my friends.
Odd bunch of folks, but quite charming in their way.
I, for one, am glad to be leaving.
Here, here.
Have we finished our business here then?
Harley turned up Clark's diary.
More importantly, I found a letter inside inviting him to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio. It was dated 9 months ago.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it ain't here or in his lab. And what's that postscript in the letter say, Harley?
You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room.
Don't get much clearer than that.
Suppose we should start packing if El Presidio is our next destination.
Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First and foremost, we need some transportation.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store all the show's props and equipment while we're gone. There's that lady in town with a wagon, though. Heard her talking at the saloon once. Said she hires it out to travelers.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
Her name's Lola Johnson. I think she stays in the old blacksmith shop.
Lola Johnson, huh?
You know her?
Not personally, but I've heard of her.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
Yeah, let's get a move on. Right. Harley, I'm putting you in charge of hiring us some transportation. Danny and I are going back to the theater to settle some business. Come get us once you've arranged a ride.
And just how am I meant to arrange it, financially speaking?
Well, now that may get a mite tricky. Our contract was to pay out at the end of the show's run, but seeing as we'll be breaking that contract, I'm sad to say we'll be forfeiting those proceeds. Anybody else got funds to contribute to the kitty?
Not unless this Johnson woman accepts pesos. And I've few enough of those at that.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything either.
Harley, my dear, I'm afraid we must then prevail upon you to furnish the petty cash needed to get our expedition aloft. Seeing as you're the only other one of our posse who's currently in the position of being gainfully employed. And it goes without saying, but you'll be fully reimbursed once we find what we're looking for, on top of your share, with interest.
I certainly hope so.
Wonderful. Well then, we'll be seeing you later.
What about you two?
I think I'll pay Dr. Sedgwick a visit. It's been ages.
And I owe him proper thanks for his care.
See you in a bit, Harley.
Good to see you again.
All right, let's get this thing knocked out. But first... Okay, time to bring home the bacon. The big question, how to open? From the moment he rode on stage astride a huge, steam-spewing mechanical horse, it could not be denied that Jake Ackerman was more than your typical copperpenny showman. Following that outstanding overture, Gentleman Jake's Wild West Spectacular proceeded in a similarly gobsmacking vein. Now, the middle section needs to recapture the reader's interest. Let's see. A man of many words to match his many deeds, Jake was gracious enough to sit for an interview, in which he revealed some fascinating and candid details about the life behind the legend. And now for an ending. Mr. Ackerman is a great man, and by his visit to our industrious frontier town, proves that Rosewater is the sort of cosmopolitan crossroads where one might yet meet and mingle with some of the true luminaries of our age. All right, that should do it. Now, what should I title it? A frontier hero comes to town. And done.
Good to see you again, Harley. Hope you're spinning me some aurum.
Well, I've spent the past couple days following Jake around, gathering plenty of straw.
Glad to hear it. I like writers who go above and beyond. What do you need?
Joni, I'd like to ask, could I get an advance on my article?
What for?
The long and the short of it is that Jake has invited me on an expedition. I'll need some extra crowns to cover the expenses.
What kind of an expedition?
We're going to look for Dr. Bennett Clark's missing fortune. Surely a far more interesting story, wouldn't you say?
You're right about that. Tales from the wild frontier are in vogue these days, and folk will be gumming to find out what happened to Clark. But I like people who finish what they start. Get me your assignment, then we can discuss your next one.
Understood. I'd best be on my...
Right, yeah.
Here you are, Joni. One profile of Gentleman Jake, ready to print.
Let's have a look. You know, writing the headline is normally the editor's job. Now let's see. Goodness, this account of the show is very descriptive. You've made me feel like I was there in the front row. This is good. You've kept it brisk all the way through. Oof, laying it on a bit thick at the end there, aren't you? Still, I asked you to make the town look good, and you delivered. I appreciate a writer who can take editorial direction. We'll work on the subtlety later. Not bad, Harley. Not bad at all. A few snips here and there, and this will be fit to print. Here's your fee, as agreed. Now I know what I'm working with, I'll have a think about your next assignment.
About that. How about that piece on the search for Clark's missing fortune? That'll be better than any old profile.
Sure enough. All right then. Clark's missing fortune it is.
I've got something else.
Oh? Do tell.
While I was going around with Jake, we spent some time with the Otham. I learned that they've come under constant attack from the soldiers at Fort Beaumont.
What? Why?
That's the thing. There's no reason. They pose no threat, yet the soldiers harass them anyway. In one recent raid, all their crops were torched.
That's atrocious. People need to know about this.
I'm glad you think so, because their leader wants their story told. She's willing to be interviewed. She gave me the statement, too.
Powerful stuff. I'll pay a visit as soon as I can and see for myself. Plenty of townsfolk could stand to learn about our neighbours in the valley. This could open their eyes.
I hope so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to see about hiring a wagon.
Godspeed, Harley.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
What do you want?
You're Lola Johnson, right?
Right. Who are you and what's your business?
Name's Harley Leger. My companions and I are headed to El Presidio, and we heard you've got a wagon for hire.
I do. How many are you?
5, including myself.
My fee is 40 crowns up front.
Here's your fee.
Good. Get your posse together and meet me outside town at sundown. We'll head out then. There you are. This your group then?
This is us.
All right, folks, listen here. I'm Lola Johnson. This is my wagon. When you're in my wagon, you follow my rules. Rule 1, I'm your driver, not your friend. While we're moving, leave me be. That means no yammering in my ear about how pretty you think the mountains are. Rule 2, we stop and go as I say. I ain't interested in blowing up my engine just 'cause y'all are in a hurry. Last rule, everybody does their part. Be it cooking, hunting, or gathering firewood. This ain't no pleasure cruise, and I won't be serving y'all. The road can be rough, but I'm an experienced navigator and tracker, so stick with me and you'll be fine. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask.
We understand. You'll have no trouble from us.
All right then, let's get a move on. Time's wasting.
We are off, with the first faint tendrils of dawn at our backs. We head west for El Presidio on the trail of the elusive Dr. Clark. We have but a few days' travel before us, through the desert and mountains to reach the coast. I am rather looking forward to getting a better view of this part of the country. And should the scenery lack for diversion, I suppose I'll have recourse in the fellowship of my new traveling companions. Now that we've assembled in this unlikely venture, perhaps it's time we got to better know one another.
Feels good to be underway at last.
Yes, though I must admit I tend to become restless on long trips.
Well, we got cards, books, and conversation. Plenty of ways to pass the time.
Phil?
Señorita?
Will this be your first time visiting El Presidio?
It will. I have heard many tales of this so-called Mouth of the West. I am curious to find out which ones are true.
You're very polite, Phil, but please, call me Harley.
What is wrong with Señorita?
It's not my name.
Ah, but it is a sign of respect. I would never dream of addressing a new Spanish lady by her given name.
Well, things are different here.
As I am learning. If you wish it, it will be so.
Appreciate it. We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Never visited El Presidio before?
I've never been beyond this valley.
You'll be all right. We've got a good group, and we'll look out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate your kind words.
So how'd you become a healer? Did you go to school?
No. I mean, I attended the missionary school for a few years as a child, but not to learn medicine. I was taught by Dr. Sedgwick, Rosewater's physician. I worked as his apprentice for nearly a decade. He was a wonderful guardian and mentor. I am grateful for all his care.
You said Doc Sedgwick was your guardian? What about your parents?
I never knew my mother. She died soon after I was born. My father worked for Dr. Sedgwick, which is how I came to his household. He took me in when my father died from an infected wound.
I'm so sorry. How old were you?
I don't remember exactly, but I couldn't have been more than 5.
Did that have anything to do with you choosing to learn medicine?
I suppose so. Yes. If I can save somebody's loved one, grant them extra time to cherish together, well, there's no better way to help people, is there?
When did you return to the Otham?
I went to them in April of last year, but it wasn't a return. They took me in. People were leaving town, and there was less need for me at the clinic. It was Dr. Sedgwick who encouraged me to find my own path. The Otham were kind to accept me as a guest, but truthfully, I'm glad for this opportunity to travel with you and the others.
You said the Otham took you in. They aren't your people?
No. I don't know who my people are. My father never told Dr. Sedgwick, and I have no memories of him talking about it. I think my parents came from somewhere to the east, but I'm not even sure of that.
Have you ever tried tracking down where you came from?
No, I've considered it, but it's complicated. Perhaps someday.
Hey, I see something up ahead, by the side of the road. Looks like somebody's been making lots of holes.
Wagon's slowing down.
Guess it caught Lola's eye, too. Let's have a look.
Have you been stranded out here, ma'am?
Oh, no, not at all. I can see how it might look that way, but I assure you, I am here with fierce and deliberate purpose.
So what possessed you to come stand out in the middle of the desert?
My name is Amber Lee, and I am a paleontologist.
Beg your pardon?
It means I collect and study fossils.
Fossils? You mean bones?
Yes, that's right. Bones of the great creatures that roamed these lands millions of years ago. The mighty thunder lizards who shook the ground with every step. This wasn't always a desert, you know. It may seem difficult to imagine now, but millions of years ago, this was all a vast, lush rainforest. The perfect habitat for these awesome beasts.
Suppose everybody needs a hobby.
This is no mere hobby, sir. This is my vocation. In fact, I have been invited to exhibit my findings at the esteemed Jolly Good Club in El Presidio.
The Jolly Good Club?
What a coincidence. We're on our way there right now.
Is that right? Are there members of the club among you?
No. Are you a member?
Alas, women are not permitted to join. They have made a special exception to allow me to give my lecture, and they are expecting something spectacular. If I don't find something truly extraordinary to show, I will be in quite a bind. Fortune has not been in my favor on this expedition. I am certain this area is full of treasures. Fossilized remains, that is. But the Earth stubbornly refuses to yield up her secrets. Say, have you any experience with excavation?
Afraid not. Can't even remember the last time I touched a shovel.
Oh, no matter. The digging isn't even the most important part. It's the handling of the fossils. As long as you've a delicate touch, you'll be a great help. I shall compensate you for your trouble, of course.
How much are we talking?
I'll need 2 field assistants. I am prepared to offer you 5 crowns each for a day's labor, and double that if you turn up something I can exhibit.
So at least 10 crowns in total and 20 if we both find something? All right, that sounds fair.
Wonderful!
You taking point on this, Harley?
Guess so. Nadine, want to help me out?
Of course.
Now remember, we are searching for bones belonging to the great dinosaurs that I believe were once abundant here. They may be scattered in pieces. I aspire above all to discover and assemble a complete skeleton for display. My holy grail, if you will. If you uncover anything useful, be sure to tag it for classification.
Don't waste too much time. We got to keep moving.
We shall reconvene in an hour.
All right, but not a minute more.
May fortune favor our search.
Ooh, this is interesting. And what have we here? Sand's a touch cooler down here. Surprised I haven't hit bedrock yet. I found something. Say, this looks promising. I can't dig it. Sand's a touch. I found something. Looks valuable. I'm keeping it. And what have we here? Surprised I. And what have we here? I can't. Just. And what have we here? Well now, what's this? Must be my lucky day. This comes with me. Well now, what's this? And what have we here? Ooh, this is interesting. I could probably get a few crowns for this. I found something. Phew. I've been at this long enough.
All right, place everything you found on the table here and we'll have a look. Not a bad yield. You found some quality fossils. As for your companion, goodness, you've also found some wonderful fossils. This is quite a collection. Here is your fee, as we agreed. Thank you again for your assistance.
Don't mention it. Good luck with your exhibition. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
Did your travels ever take you to El Presidio?
A few times. Can't say I much care for it, but that's cities for you. Too crowded, too impersonal. I'll take the wide open countryside any day.
You know, I wouldn't mind hearing a tale or two of your past adventures.
Sure, why not? It was 1842, and I'd been hired by the sheriff of Bleachbone Gulch to track down some cattle rustlers. It was a long and winding trail, but by following the signs, I finally tracked down the stolen herd and the rustlers' camp. So I went back to town and gathered up a posse. 4 able-bodied men, plus myself. That night, we went back under the cover of darkness. We had the element of surprise, but we were outnumbered 3-1. Before I knew it, the shooting had started. It was a long and bloody gunfight. In the end, yours truly was the last man left standing. I drove that whole herd on by my lonesome. They were all back home by dawn, with not a head missing. Lost some good fellers that night. But that was the end of cattle rustling in Bleachbone Gulch.
Hell of a story.
Now there's plenty more where that came from.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
Hey, Danny.
Sure. Actually, I was wondering about something. Where'd you learn how to fight?
For a while, it was how I put food on the table.
No kidding. You were a brawler?
I was. Used to call me Spitfire Harley.
Wow. Were you any good?
I took my licks, but usually held my own. In that world, being good is mostly about how much punishment you can take and keep coming back. Same as anywhere, really. So have you been to El Presidio before?
Yeah, I was born there.
No kidding.
I left when I was 16. Haven't been back in ages. We're slowing down again.
Good. I could use a change of environment. Harley, could I have a word outside?
Sure.
Sun's getting low. Time to set up camp.
Harley and I'll be back shortly. Just gonna take a walk over to that spring. Danny and the others can aid in the preparations.
You better not be skipping out every time there's work to be done, you hear?
Shall we?
Lead on.
Would you look at that spring? I ain't seen water that clear since that time I went swimming with the Prime Minister's rambunctious niece.
So, you wanted to talk to me about something?
I did. I can tell you've got a cogitating mind, always assessing the situation, finding the risks and opportunities. Now that we've got a real posse assembled, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on our little venture. Everything seem hunky-dory so far, in your estimation?
I'll admit I was skeptical at first. But after that lead we found in Chrysalis, I think we might actually be onto something. Eager to see where it goes.
Delighted to hear it. You let me know if that changes, all right?
You got it.
Right, well, we should be heading back. L. Smith Johnson will...
Oh, hey there.
Howdy, friend.
Welcome, welcome. Name's Aubrey Trout, but you're not here about me. I reckon you're here for the spring water.
Something special about it?
Something special about it? This here's an etheric spring. Best kept secret in the great western desert.
Etheric spring?
Sure. Y'all know about ethericity, don't you?
We're familiar.
Well, this water's got the same properties. Due to a confluence of etherically sensitive minerals deep in the earth, you see. This here's a hotbed. Taking a drink will cure whatever ails you and grant you the strength of 10 men.
No kidding.
If what you say is true, people would be lined up from here back to Rosewater. So where is everyone?
I told you, it's a secret. Oh, for now. Once word gets out, I'll be up to my eyes in folks wanting a sip of the stuff. I can see by your face you're not convinced. Maybe this'll change your mind. Observe.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Daily sips of this water have conferred upon me a practically superhuman strength. Now, tell me, how old do you think I am?
I imagine a spry young feller like yourself can't be more than 25?
What if I told you I was 52?
So you're saying the water stops you aging?
And reverses it. Why, my own sister wouldn't recognize me. Okay, look, I'll take a drink now. Watch me. There, you see? Tastes like springtime and sunlight. Now, if the water was no good, would I have done that?
Reckon not.
So go on, friends. Share in the wealth. Take a sip.
If it does even half of what you say.
Not so fast. Something is off. I'm sure you won't mind if I have a look around, Mr. Trout.
Be my guest.
Looks refreshing, but looks can be deceiving. Ow! Bunch of stickers. Damn. Was there a sign here at one point? Wonder what it said. Nothing but twigs and leaves. What's this? These boards have been badly damaged, but it looks like it says WRNI. Warning? What's this? A money pouch. There's 10 crowns in here. They're circling low. That's not reassuring. Water of life. All these trees look dead. That can't be a good sign. All these trees... Looks refreshing, but looks can be deceiving. Jake, I don't think you should drink that water.
Why not?
There was a warning sign over there, and someone destroyed it.
Really? That stick's been there since I found the place. Never seen a sign.
Just have a look at all the trees and plants around the spring. They're dead. I'd say that's a clear warning.
Oh, it's a desert. Plenty of straggly-looking vegetation.
There's an awful lot of vultures in the area.
I did notice that, yes.
They're off in the distance. This spring's pretty well hidden still. Anything that doesn't find it dies of thirst out there.
Now, wait just a minute. What are you trying to pull here, friend?
Nothing. I swear.
Right, and I'm the Prime Minister. Quite the little scam you've got going on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think you do. Jake, maybe you can coax our friend here to talk?
I'd listen to the lady, partner, unless you want to be another notch on Gentleman Jake's holster.
Okay. I'll talk. The spring's toxic. Trick people into taking a sip and then rob them.
Gee, Rover Cripes, that's pretty low, even for a confidence trickster.
It don't kill them. A little sip only knocks you out for a bit.
So how are you still standing after all those drinks you took?
I got a natural immunity. What can I say? Found a way to turn it to my advantage.
And that iron-bending trick?
Like you said, just a trick.
Of course. I should have seen through that. We got ourselves a real piece of work here, Harley.
You're telling me.
What do you reckon we should do with them?
We can't let him work his tricks on anyone else. He needs to be punished.
I agree.
Please, don't kill me.
Do we look like murderers to you? We need to make an example of him.
I've got just the thing. Go get me some rope from the wagon, would you?
All right. That's some fine work, Jake.
Thank you. Maybe now our friend will think twice about leading people astray. Shall we?
Wait! You're just gonna leave me here?
Oh, plenty of folks travel this road. You know that, or you wouldn't have bothered laying your trap. I'm sure you'll encounter some charitable soul. Eventually.
Speaking of charitable souls, I found a stash of stolen money while I was snooping around.
Well, ain't that something? Come on, let's head back and see how the camp setup's going. So the little weasels concocted this whole story about how it's an etheric spring and the water has special powers, trying to hoodwink us into drinking it. All I can say is it's a good thing we ain't the rubes he took us for.
I feel sorry for anyone falling prey to his tricks. He was a crafty one.
Even so, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to pull one over on old Jake.
So what happened when you found him out?
We got a full confession. Turns out, the water's poisoned. The snake worked up some scheme to get passers-by to drink, and then empty their pockets as soon as they were out of commission. Leastways, I think that's what he said. Couldn't catch half of it through his blubbering and sniffling.
Funny how some folks will lie and lie to your face, bold as brass, then go all to pieces soon as they get caught. So how'd you deal with them?
We made an example of him.
You killed him?
Let's just say he won't be harming anybody else.
Don't worry, Nadine. Jake's just pulling your leg. We left him tied up next to the spring and wrote up a sign warning about what he did. And whatever happens after, I guess, is up to the next person who comes along.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Sounds like he got off easy.
The chili's almost ready. Harley, can you come help me and Phil serve?
Sure thing. That smells heavenly.
The kid is a good cook, eh? But I believe this chili could use a little of my secret ingredient.
What's that?
Mezcal. I picked up a bottle before we left Rosewater. Gives it a nice smoky flavor. And makes you feel nice afterwards, too. This group needs a bit of loosening up, don't you think? Me? Overdo it? Never.
We should be ready to serve. Just one last taste. Tastier than usual. Smoky. Did one of you add something?
Just my secret ingredient.
Well, whatever it is, it's real nice. Come on, let's fill up these bowls and get everybody fed.
That was some mighty fine chili, Danny boy.
Glad you liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Pinch more salt might have brought out the flavor. Quite good, though.
I'll keep that in mind for next time.
It's a nice night.
Perfect for relaxing and enjoying the company of one's comrades. The best part of the day. I have always said that the battle is won or lost around the campfire the night before.